Hey guys! Today I'm going to share with you how to make a white chocolate raspberry blondies. And these blondies are filled with creamy white chocolate chips, fresh raspberries that give it a slightly tart flavor. And they're so moist, they're so delicious, and I think it's the best flavor combination. So let's get started. Okay, so first things first, I have a 6-ounce container of raspberries that I went ahead and rinsed. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just slice them in half because we want smaller chunks of raspberries in our bars, in our blondies. I do enjoy making blondies or bars in general because I'm not much of a baker, because to me baking takes way more patience and way more preciseness than cooking, because cooking you can kind of throw things together and tailor it to your liking. So with bars, I find that they're much easier because you just mix everything in a bowl, mix all the ingredients in a bowl, pour it in a baking dish, bake, and cut them into bars. And it's as simple as that. So it actually is a lot more easier than making like individual cookies or cupcakes. So now that we have all our raspberries nice and sliced up, I'm gonna go ahead and work on our wet ingredients. So I'm going to need 2 sticks of butter, which I melted in the microwave. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into the bowl here. And then I'm gonna add 3/4 cups of regular white sugar. And then another 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar. And then I'm gonna go ahead and crack in 2 eggs. I should be doing this into a bowl first, just in case some of the shell goes in, but let's just cross our fingers. Actually, you're supposed to mix in your sugars with your butter, melted butter first. I got ahead of myself right now, but it's okay. We'll just mix everything up together all at once. And what I love about this recipe is that you can mix everything by hand. So no need to bust out your electric mixer. No extra gadgets needed today. Okay, so this is all nice and mixed up. I'm gonna get going on our dry ingredients. Okay, so for the dry ingredients, I'm going to be needing 2 1/4 cups of flour. So that's 1, 2, and like I mentioned, baking is precise, so you wanna make sure to go ahead and level it off with your fingers. So that's 2 1/4. Hands are so dirty. Dusted them off in the sink really fast. Okay, and then we're also going to be needing 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Get that all in there. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then I forgot earlier, I did add 1 tablespoon of vanilla to our butter and sugar mixture. And then for our dry ingredients, I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this all up. And this doesn't need any type of baking soda or baking powder. The brownies or blondies will rise just fine without it. It is that time of year when all the holidays are coming up, and with the holidays comes in all the sweets. So I have to make sure that I'm really well stocked with flour, sugar, butter, chocolate chips, everything, because you never know when you have to whip up something sweet. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and gradually mix in our dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. And I like to do this in about 3 increments. Let's go ahead and mix that right in. So that's 1, 2, and in goes the last bit. And this really is going to be such a delicious flavor combination with the white chocolate and the raspberries. I remember the first time I ever had white chocolate raspberry anything was when my friend, who's a general manager of Nothing Bundt Cakes, and she brought over a mini raspberry white chocolate bundt cake, and I thought it was the best. It seriously is my favorite flavor. And if you haven't had Nothing Bundt Cakes, you are missing out. Okay, so our batter is all nice and mixed up, and now it's time to add in our white chocolate chips. I have 1 1/3 cups of white chocolate chips. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that right in. And the white chocolate chips adds just the right amount of that sweet, creamy texture. And last but not least, the star of the show here are raspberries. I'm gonna gently mix them in because I don't want them to break up on me. So you wanna be very gentle with this. Okay, so I went ahead and lined a 9 by 13 inch baking dish with parchment paper, and the parchment paper is gonna help when we cut up our bars. So I'm gonna go ahead and spread our blondie, keep calling them brownies, blondie mixture onto the dish. And you just wanna make sure to spread it out as evenly as you can. And these blondies are ready to get baking. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. These will take about 30 to 35 minutes. You'll know when it's done cooking when the edges are nice and golden brown, and when you insert a toothpick, it'll come out mostly clean. All right, meet me over at the oven. Okay, so I pulled our white chocolate raspberry blondies out of the oven, and the edges are nice and golden brown. And let's go ahead and stick a toothpick in it to see if it comes out clean. See, nice and clean. And you wanna make sure to have this completely cold before you start slicing it, because if you slice it right away, it's just gonna break up on you. And it is taking everything in me not to like dig into these right now. And it could take up to 3 hours, honestly, to cool down, but I'm going to cheat today. I'm gonna stick it in the freezer for about 45 minutes, and hopefully we'll test it to see if it's nice and cool, and then I'll go ahead and start slicing it. See you in a bit. Our bars have cooled in the freezer for about 50 minutes. And now I'm ready to slice them up. And see how the parchment paper makes it so easy for me to transfer from the baking dish. So I'm gonna go ahead and just slice these guys up. My kids are gonna be so happy when they come home from school today. My older son actually has a game right after school. So I know when he comes home, he's gonna be super hungry, and this is going to be a nice treat for him. And when I tested out this recipe, my family, like all my family loved it. And then I even gave some to my friend. And she messaged me that her kids enjoyed it so much that they wanted to know the recipe. That reminds me, I have to give her the recipe. And I'm just cutting these up into small squares. That way, if you're serving these like after a meal, you can enjoy one little piece. Or if you're really hungry, you can have 2 or 3. And I'm just gonna place them on a baking dish. All right, you guys, I cannot wait any longer. Look at this piece of blondie right here. It has the raspberry specks with the white chocolate chips. Can't wait to dig in. Perfectly sweet. The white chocolate chips gives it that nice sweet creaminess, and those fresh raspberries makes a nice and tart flavor. Make this for your next gathering, or if you want to just make a random sweet treat. I promise you won't be disappointed. Please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.